I think that my players have finally realised that we're playing in the top division of England, not Sunday League football. And we've actually started to get a bit of good form going to test that good form. We're going to be playing against the top club in England at the moment in the table, Chelsea, and following that we're playing in the Champions League in quite a pivotal game to make sure that we lead that Champions League group going into the fourth game of the Champions League group stage. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Here comes episode 4 of Season 4. Let's go! Hello there folks, it is TIJ and welcome to episode 4 of Season 4 of Conquering the Euro on Football Manager 2019 with Liverpool. And today, as I said in the intro, we are playing a very pivotal Premier League game. Now, Chelsea aren't top anymore, don't shoot the messenger, but until 3 hours ago they were top of the table. Obviously, Tottenham, Man City and Manchester United in the top 7 have played more games because we are playing at 5:30 on the Saturday. But in this game week, Chelsea are top of the table and we try to go... We'll actually go, well, we probably won't go 5th if we win today, but we'll go 6th at least, and we'll be 3 points close to Chelsea, and of course 3 points close to anybody else at the top of the table. As you can see as well, Bournemouth are doing particularly well in their start to the season with 19 points from 9 games, and with another win, could be top of the table in terms, not necessarily on goal difference, but in terms of points they will be. Now, if you remember last episode, we were really down to bare bones. We played against Leipzig and against Bournemouth, but I am pleased to report that we've scored a plentiful of goals since then, 11 goals since then, and we have only conceded 1. We beat Stoke 3-0 with Ben Woodburn getting 2 goals and Willy Bolly got an own goal just to finish that game off. Then we played against Crystal Palace where Trincao got an early goal. Tommy Martin cancelled that one out, but then Ben Woodburn got the win. You'll notice around this period that Ben Woodburn actually got quite a few goals, credit to him. Then we beat Marseille 2-0 in the Group E of the Champions League to get our first win in the Champions League. Balotelli and Salah contributed to the scores there. And then because Aaron Moy got sent off early in the game against Wolves, that meant that Gnabry, Alexander-Arnold, Trincao and Lallana got their goals respectively to contribute to a 4-0 win at home. But obviously now we have games against Chelsea and Valencia. Now we have an interesting record against Chelsea. We've had 2 wins, 2 draws and 2 losses since the start of the save. And you'll notice that the games, particularly in last season, have been very, very fiery. We beat them 4-1 in the first game of last season and then lost to them 6-3. It was really the start, the beginning of the end for our Premier League campaign. Was it Chelsea who won the title? Yes, it was. So Chelsea are the title holders, but we have got only 2 wins against them. And they have both been... No, one of them's been at home, one of them's been away. But when we played Chelsea away from home, we actually have picked up a win and a draw. But obviously it's been the same at home. So it hasn't really made much difference. But the last time we were at the Stamford Bridge, we did lose 6-3. So a lot of worries going into today's game, but hopefully we can do something out of it. Now, going into the tactic, we're playing that 4-5-1, which we've been playing for a bit of a while now, and the team today consists of this: Lafont, Toure, Van Dijk, Gomez and Moreno, with Henderson, Fabinho and Grujic making up a midfield 3. Salah and Gnabry on the wings, with Balotelli up front. Unfortunately, we've got a few injuries. They consist of Jonathan Tah, who, to be fair, has not had that many games, I don't think. So, in fact, he hasn't played once. That's because he's got a fractured lower leg, and yeah, that's because that happened before the start of the season. I was thinking, why hasn't Tar played? But Naby Keita's been in good form, but unfortunately he's got a twisted ankle, so he's out for a few more weeks yet. But let's get straight into this game. I completely forgot about Jonathan Tar, but Naby Keita has been playing really well. I was going to consider selling him in the summer if we can get enough money, but luckily nobody came in for him, and we in fact managed to keep is he from Guinea? I think he's from Guinea. The Guinea, I was not going to say the guinea pig. That's just a bit controversial. But the chap from Guinea has stayed. The midfielder from Guinea. He's definitely our best midfielder in terms of quality. Certainly in terms of attacking quality. I mean, Fabinho's a fantastic defensive midfielder. Don't get me wrong, as well as Henderson and Grujic. But I think in terms of raw quality, Keita has got to be the best one there. I also want to apologise when we're on the role of forgetting for a few sporadic episodes last week. We only had 3 episodes last week. We missed the last 2 days, and Christmas is looming. We have got the season coming, and there's more to do, but I can't possibly blame it on that. That'd be absolutely unfair. Basically, there's just been a few things going on. I don't really want to discuss them, but in all truth, I've been a little bit lazy. It's been a combination of different elements, but all that you guys need to know is certainly for the next fortnight, I can definitely commit to doing 5 videos a week. But once we get into the Christmas period, things could get quite sticky. But for the moment, we should be alright. But Chelsea very nearly got their first goal of the game. It's always tricky around Christmas, but I should be able to get ahead quite confidently. But if I don't, and there are a few patches that we miss over Christmas, hopefully I will get the Christmas schedule done just so the episodes missed aren't so sporadic. Maybe we'll have a, Monday, Wednesday and Friday schedule just to make sure that it's not so sporadic that we miss a Thursday here or a Tuesday there. even though we will miss a Thursday there and Tuesday there, because obviously we have only got Monday, Wednesday, Friday under that schedule, so just ignore me there. But let's focus on FM, because I've just made a complete hash of that comment. But I think you guys know exactly what we're saying here. But Hazard has took the first goal in this game. It seems quite equal from having a flicker through the stats at the start, just a quick eye on the stats. But a bit unfortunate there, to be honest. It was Hazard against Lafont at close range. Hazard would definitely be the favourite. But looking at the stats, Chelsea have had the more shots and a little bit more possession. Well, they haven't now, but as I said, up until 2 minutes ago they had. But at home, that's expected for them. But I reckon we can get back into this game. It seems that we've had a hell of a lot of possession in the last few minutes. And after that Chelsea goal, it seems we're back in the game, which is great. We're going to tell the players to get creative. And hopefully, we can get a goal before half-time. But it does not look like it is going to come. But we're definitely still in this game. We're only 1-0 down. We're certainly not 4-0 down, which I think we were last year. But we are going to give an aggressive team talk to the lads, just to make sure that we can get them back into this game. Fabinho to Balotelli to Grujic. And that is it for that one. And also a bit of promotion while we're here. If you're watching this just as this episode comes out, there is a live stream going on over on Twitch with my name, TijFM, TIJFM. And we're doing a Stoke save over there. And that's on a Sunday from 7 till 9. And I think I will be streaming on a Monday, so today as well. I think probably from 7 till 8 or half 6 till half 7. So if you're watching this on release, just get over there. And the best way to find out when I am streaming is to follow the channel. And that will give you notifications when I am streaming. But apart from that, apart from the promotion, it seems whenever I start yapping on, it seems that Chelsea start to do well. And I did say at the start of the episode that this would be a big test for our newfound good form. And it seems that we're being tested quite a lot here. We are going to have to just go for it, I think, now, ultimately. We are going to focus our play down the right where we are strongest, courtesy of Mo Salah, let's be fair. We are going to have to pass into space as well. But we are only going to work the ball into the box. We don't want to be too stupid. Play for some set pieces, distribute out the opposition defence, and a bit of a higher defensive line, just making sure that we're more urgent. We might as well go for it now. If we concede more, it's not going to hurt. We certainly don't walk away with any less points. We do walk away with a lesser goal difference. That's absolutely fair enough. Possibly low. We might not need to make any change, but Balotelli quite poor there, one-on-one. Good stuff from Kepa to keep him out, but quite poor generally there, and that wasn't too fantastic. But Mo Salah has got a bruised ankle, but we will keep him on for a bit, but we are going to have a few attacking changes. We're going to bring Trincao on for Gnabry on the left. That looks okay to me. And we're also going to bring... Oh, do we risk it? Yeah, we are. We're going to bring Woodburn on up front. I think he has got the strength now to play up front by himself. And this will be a big test for Woodburn. Let's see if he lives up to that test. I'm going to tell the players who demand more of them, though. Hopefully we can get back into this, because the stats suggest to me that we should be in this game. But if Chelsea do win this game, it's not the end of the world. We're only 9 points behind them, and it does sound like a lot, that does. But it's easily regainable. This is probably the only really hard game in quite a long period for another 6-7 games. So as long as we keep winning and beating the teams that aren't necessarily... Well, they are around us, funnily enough, at the moment. But as long as we win 5 out of those 7, let's say, including this game, so, yeah, 5 of the next 6... that's not the worst thing in the world. And Chelsea will slip up somewhere, and we should be alright. So I don't think we've got much to worry about, but a good ball from Virgil van Dijk to Almi Torre. Very good reactions to get that into the box, and unfortunately for Trincao, it is just wide for him. We're going to go very attacking now, see if we can get anything out of this game at all. We'll bring Aguero on for Salah. We're going to put Aguero up front, and Woodburn. Can he play? No, he can't play there, but Trincao I know can play there, so we're going to put him there. Inside forward for Woodburn, and we're going to play you as a deep line forward. Play you as an attacking sweeper keeper. Just try and get on with it, see if we can get at least 1 goal back. But it doesn't unfortunately look like anything is going to change. It's a real shame, but Chelsea are top of the table. They are the people, well, they're retaining the title, and ultimately, they are going to be the hardest team to come up against, in theory, this season. So, it's a tough hammer blow to take, particularly after a few good games in terms of form, but these slip-ups happen sometimes, and we just need to make sure that we win another few games, and it will just be more of a slip-up than a change in form for us, if that makes any sense. We want to make sure this is the only game we lose for a while, and I think it will be. We're playing well at the moment, and I think that we've just been a little bit outclassed today, but that's not down to our squad quality, it's just the fact that we're not playing too well at the moment. We're just trying to make sure that we actually get into this season, and I think the second half of the season will be much better. But there's still plenty of time to go in the season. 9 points is a big gap, but we can absolutely get that back with a good sort of halfway through the season. We're not even third way through yet, but with a good next third and 2/3 of the season. But we have got a game against Valencia at home, back at Anfield, in a few days' time. So hopefully we can end off the episode in a good, positive way and go and beat the Spanish club in the Champions League, I suppose. I was going to say the Spanish champions, but no, they're not quite the Spanish champions. But I'll see you guys in a minute. A few changes then against a very, very, very defensive Valencia. A 3-1-4-2 with a defensive midfielder. That looks like a very defensive formation, but one that perhaps might work against this tactic. But a few changes, they include Mamana is in for Van Dijk. We've got Alexander-Arnold in for Toure on the right, and Robertson in on the left for Moreno. But apart from that, everything stays the same in the squad for now. But really, we need to go and win this game because it is quite tight in the group. I think I'm right in saying that Valencia are on 4, Leipzig are on 3, and Marseille are on 1. And we're obviously on 3 going to this game as well after beating Marseille. So Leipzig and Marseille play today. The best result for us today would be a draw, provided we beat Valencia here. But it's not as clear-cut as that because it's all about competitive records. Just making sure we win every single one of these games left is imperative, and I think we should be able to. It's quite a hard Champions League group, admittedly. It's not the easiest one ever, but it is still achievable to get out of, definitely. Robertson on the edge of the box, puts it into Salah, and it is a penalty. Well, Salah was pushed by the defender Guedes, and Balotelli gets the opportunity to put us ahead. I'll be a bit gutted if Balotelli doesn't, but I feel like he might not do. Here he comes. Balotelli steps up, and it is in the back of the net. Poor penalty, really. It wasn't the best penalty, but he better win the back of the net. Because the goalkeeper did go the right way, but didn't stop it. Perhaps we don't really deserve to be ahead at this point, because Valencia had a hell of a lot of possession. But we have got a free kick again here. Balotelli very nearly makes it a second, pretty much directly after that penalty went in. So we seem up for it and fired up for it. And it seems that we're using our lack of possession really well, surprisingly. And that's brilliant to see. And I think we should be able to win this match. Valencia haven't offered a lot so far. And if we can get a second goal here, which we haven't quite been able to do, we should be alright. But it seems to have been a bit unlucky more than anything else. We are playing a bit earlier, it seems, than Leipzig and Marseille, which is a bit of a shame, so we won't know what result has happened there. That's purely because we're playing at 6 o'clock and the other teams are playing 8. That's for some bizarre reason it's encoded into FM, but surely because we're playing over here, it's a different time zone to Europe. It might be I don't know, it might be an hour behind, it might be the same time, but I don't know why you'd play your games in a staggered way, which might be a change in the rules in the Champions League, again, I'm not sure, but a good ball from Salah to Balotelli, and that's 2-0, what a strike from Balotelli, a real quality that Balotelli has is his one-on-one ability. He doesn't use it sometimes, but not every player's no player's going to score one-on-one every single time, but Balotelli's got that ability to go up to a goalkeeper, not really phased, and just blast it in the back of the net. Without skying it, usually, it's either quite a poor half-hearted shot or a shot like that. And as it says there, he let fly with his right foot and has scored 2 there. I was wondering perhaps about not using him in this game, but we are definitely the wiser party for using him. And that's the reason that we're ahead here. And we're 2-0 up, it looks to seem, at half-time. It could even be 3-0 Robertson to Gnabry. We've certainly pushed that possession game back to 50-50, which is lovely and nice, but the only thing I'm bothered about is the result. But Salah on the edge of the box shoots, and it's just very wide. Well, they're very much wide. It's ignore me. But we could seriously be 4 or 5 up. I think we've seen 3 or 4 chances, as well as the penalties, obviously, but that could have possibly gone in. So we're going to tell the Blads not to get complacent, because that can very easily happen. Valencia are a very good side. They have got our player, Xherdan Shaqiri, funnily enough, on loan, and they are going to be missing him a little bit tonight, because they've been playing him for quite a few games this season. And as I understand, he's been playing quite well over there, which is nice to see. But he just didn't really fit into the squad this year. So, fair play. Vidal's at Valencia now. That's a bit of a shock. And Dobby is there as well, blimey. So, a few big names at Valencia, but they aren't beating us at the moment, which is lovely to see. But Camacho on the ball straight out to half-time. I'm hoping this isn't an immediate reply from Valencia. Rodrigo with a shot and a lovely save for Lafont. And I apologise, I'm not picking at my lip. I'm just moving something out of the way. I've got a massive ulcer underneath one of me. Well, it's not huge, but it's a pain in the backside. That's why I call it massive. Massive as in the amount of pain. Well, it's not even the amount of pain. It's just that it's an annoyance. It's an inconvenience to say the least. But less about my ulcers and more on the football match. But this has been a very weird start to the half. I haven't got the highlights on full match, have I? Because this episode could get a whole lot longer if we're not careful. But Fabinho's got the ball. Surely because the highlight's been so long, something's got to happen here for us. And it looks like it will be for us. Salah, quite a poor ball into the box there. Back to Neto. Neto puts it out and Van Dijk should get it, but he doesn't. Oh dear, Kondogbia. Now Torres. It's not Fernando, don't worry. Torres is on the ball. Torres to Camacho. Now Vidal in the middle. Vidal to Kondogbia. Over, but Robertson gets it out. No, he doesn't. It's through to the Valencia number 9. And amazingly, Batshuayi doesn't strike cleanly. And after all that, nothing happened in the highlights. I know it was end-to-end, but it seemed a bizarrely long highlight for nothing to happen. There's usually a goal that happens in one of those highlights, if they are that long. But the thing that I'm worried about and I'm quite happy with is that we are still ahead, and that's brilliant for us. And I've made the wrong decision really here of putting no midfielders on the bench, no central midfielders. I know Ben Woodburn and Harry Wilson can play there, but not to a great extent. So we are going to have to just leave it as it is. We have brought Oxlade-Chamberlain back into the first team setup because basically we need him. We got Naby Keita injured and we're doing in that other midfielder. So Oxlade-Chamberlain comes back into the setup. He's been a bit ill-used really over the years, so possibly he could get into the team at some point. I'm not quite sure. And it wouldn't be a bad thing for him to get into the team. But unfortunately, Batshuayi's got a goal back and they only need one more now. To get back into this game. I'm going to tell the lads to concentrate. It was Robertson's fault, but there's no point worrying about that too much. But we will bring Woodburn on for Grit. No, we can't bring them on because they just can't play there. So we are going to have to leave it as it is. And if one of those players gets injured, well, that's my fault for not making the change. But we should be alright up to the end of the game. But we have only got about 15 minutes left. So we're going to put Van Dijk on for Gomez. We're going to change... We're going to put Alexander-Arnold actually in the midfield because he seems to be alright to play there. Again, not brilliant, but, you know, it's going to have to do. But still, we haven't got a right back now. That's the problem. Oh, jeez. We're going to have to put Moreno there. That should be fine. And we're also going to bring on Woodburn for Grucic. I know that they really can't play there, but, you know, the things that we have to do sometimes, you know, it's just got to be done. And I think we should be alright till the end of the game. Yeah, we should be okay. About 15 minutes left. We are going to get counter-attacking now. That might be a bit of a risk, but we are very much looking to shut up shop. We could do with another goal, possibly, but we should be okay now until the end, I hope. Woodburn on the ball. Woodburn on the edge of the box to Alexander-Arnold. Is the other midfielder, his midfield partner, but Salah gets the ball from that very skewy for Alexander-Arnold. Assist, and I'm not going to complain though, but it is 3-1 to the Reds, and Salah gets his 4th goal of the season. Alexander-Arnold and Woodburn being the midfield partnership. They play usually very far away from each other on the pitch. Woodburn's usually up front with Alexander-Arnold on the right back. But they're playing together today, and there must be about 3 or 4 plays. It was like pinball. The ball went from Arnold to Salah, but Salah put it in the back of the net nonetheless. And we are going to walk away from Anfield with a victory tonight, and that means that if Leipzig beats Marseille, then we'll be second in the group. But we are going to be, for the first time in this group stage, in the top 2. And that's a very comfortable sight for this game. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that, folks. And if you have, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment as well down below. And subscribe for daily Football Manager content. Monday to Friday, of course. And if you are watching this as soon as it comes out, remember that there is a stream over on Twitch. I will leave a link, hopefully, down in the description for my Twitch page. But if I don't do that, please remind me down in the comments. That'll be a brilliant tool to make sure that my noggin puts that down in the comments, and I'll remember that for the future. But thank you very much for watching, folks. I really appreciate your support. I'll be back tomorrow at 6 PM for another episode of FM. Thank you so much for watching, folks, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.